Have you ever heard this? Oh, I don't need to worry about onboarding. By the time they get to me, they're already onboarded. That's all HR's job. How many of you have maybe said that? I'm here to tell you that, in fact, onboarding isn't just HR's job. The part of onboarding that HR does is only a small sliver of what onboarding really is like and what the process should look like. So in today's video, I'm gonna walk through everyone that needs to be involved in the onboarding process. So let's talk about the 5 types of people that need to be part of the onboarding process. The first type of person, your leadership. It is critical that leadership is involved in the onboarding process. Now, I know it can be really hard for the CEO to take the time to meet every single employee. However, is it that hard for them to maybe they spread it amongst, the CEO and the senior vice presidents and all the people that are part of the organization to take just a few people in their department underneath and send them an email, just send them a note. Record something on your phone really quick, a quick video. Think of a cameo, right? You can get a cameo from your favorite reality celebrity. I may or may not have a cameo or 2 or 3 actually, but they're just quick 30-second videos, just wishing someone a happy birthday or saying, hey, welcome to the team. I'm so excited to have you here. And I'm hoping that you'll be happy working here. And, I'm hoping that your onboarding process is the best that it can be. And please let us know if there's anything that we can do to support you. That could also just be a pre-recorded video that gets sent out individually to every single person in the team. They don't need to know that the CEO recorded it once. Leadership has to be part of that process. How often have we joined organizations and we don't know leadership? We know our manager and we know the person above them, but that's about where it ends. Now, how more powerful is and how more bought in are you if you actually know the CEO, right? Or you actually have had conversations with a member of the leadership team where they actually feel like they have heard from you. I can think back to when I worked at a home remodeling company and I went to the headquarters out in Pennsylvania and I met the CEO and I met all of senior leadership. It made me more bought into the entire organization. Taking that time in any way, shape, or form helps to make that connection and build that bond. And at the end of the day, strengthens your culture. The next type of person that needs to be part of your onboarding process, and arguably one of the most important people part of that onboarding process, is the manager, the management team, right? That manager needs to be working on assimilating that person to their job role, but also integrating them to the team. I know that onboarding is going to be in team culture building. It's going to be so hard as we move into this hybrid work structure. Think about if you have 4 people that are all now in office in a hybrid, or at least they're physically there, right? But then you have one person that's remote. It's going to be really hard to focus on that one remote person. And it's a lot of work on the manager to figure out ways to integrate that person and build those connections. It has to happen. It's really important that the manager does that because you have such a higher risk for that person who is remote to feel just not bought into the organization, doesn't feel compelled to do better, do more, to really integrate themselves in the organization. It's easier to have them drift off and say, you know what, I don't really like these couple of things that have been going on, so I'm going to go find something else. Managers have to be part of that onboarding process. They need to be working with, most importantly, their team members on creating opportunities to integrate together, creating opportunities for the team to just get together during the workday and just chat. Do a check-in, right? How are you doing? Let's do a lunch and learn, right? We're all part of the marketing team. Let's go to this training on Facebook ads because we all know that's changed recently. Let's go to this training together and then have a quick, 15-minute, 20-minute conversation after about what we learned from it, what our key takeaways are. Those types of opportunities help to bring the team together and help to bring that new employee in. It is critical when you're bringing in a new employee to take the time to set up your one-on-one. It does maybe feel like hand-holding, and for some managers, it's just not their style, but checking in regularly, frequently with your new employee, it's critical as part of that onboarding process so they don't go so long between getting important questions answered. And questions that maybe to you seem silly or maybe to you seem common knowledge, but just aren't. They just don't know. They're common knowledge to you now, but you may be part of the organization for years and years and years. So remember to put yourself in the new person's shoes. Think back to your first day and all the things that you didn't know and all the things that you know now. Onboarding is part of the manager's duties. Integrating that team member and finding ways to integrate them, that's part of your duties. So make sure you have opportunities for additional training, actual job training, what they're going to be doing. Make sure you set up your one-on-ones, have job aids, and regularly schedule team connection touch points and team meetings. Take the opportunity to do professional development together and just be creative, right? Maybe it's a book club that you guys all get together and you all read the same book. And then at the end of the month or at the end of the quarter, you share notes. Different way you all can connect without having to add one more thing onto the plate or another meeting. The third type of person that is part of your onboarding process is the entire team. So it should not be up to just your managers to onboard that new person, bring them into the culture, bring them into the team. The team should also be responsible for that. The team should be talking and having conversation with the new employee about what the norms are for the team. So we don't turn cameras on Fridays. We don't schedule meetings before 11 a.m. on Mondays. Things like that, if you don't have these unwritten rules documented and shared somehow, new person's not going to know. They might schedule a meeting for 9 a.m. Monday, violating one of those rules, those unspoken rules. The team can help to provide that context. The team can also really be integral in sharing tips and tricks and ways to do your job faster, be more efficient, and tips and tricks around the office. All of those things could be part of the team's responsibilities. You as the manager can choose to take all the things that a new person needs to know and split those tasks amongst the team. Hey, Vanessa, you're going to go let Rachel know more about what are our team norms, what are our team unspoken rules. Susan, you're going to talk about tips and tricks in the, utilizing our CRM software. Things like that. That does not all have to fall on you. How can a team member onboard a new employee? First things first, a good old one-on-one training, right? Taking time to work one-on-one a couple of times throughout the new employee's first, 30, 60, 90 days is a really great way to do that. Through those one-on-ones, you really have the opportunity to connect, not only through sharing best practices and tricks, but also make those personal connections and form that bond with another person on a person-to-person level. And actually, I think that TikTok could be an excellent use for these team norms. Now, I'm not saying to go create your own TikTok channel, but if you have the ability to do that and you have the permission to, by all means, go ahead. But creating those TikTok style videos and maybe sharing it in your team's Slack channel and creating a specific Slack channel for your team for onboarding and creating those quick 7 to 30 second quick tips and tricks for the team, that could be so much fun. It's a different way to share those tips and tricks instead of going through a document or a PowerPoint and saying, okay, so on Mondays, we don't schedule meetings before 11. How much more fun would it be if you could actually have a TikTok where it's like someone scheduling a meeting before 9 a.m. and then you see team members going, and then the tip comes up. Our team doesn't schedule meetings on Mondays before 11 a.m. So don't make that faux pas. Like something like that. It's like super fun. It's engaging. And guess what? It's going to be faster for you to remember that because you think about that story. You think about how funny or how shocking it was when you actually watch the video versus remembering that the first slide of the PowerPoint was do not schedule a meeting before 11 a.m. on Monday. That's a really cool way to integrate TikTok and integrate your team into it. You have so much fun. And depending on the team, you could have some really, really fun, cool, interesting TikTok videos to show. And you can showcase them on your Slack channel. Other departments are part of the onboarding process. Most organizations don't work in silos, right? IT has their part. And, maybe you're part of learning development, but you work with the marketing department because you create some collateral to educate customers, not just your internal employees. Those other departments should be participating in the onboarding of your new team member. And the way that they could do that is maybe just scheduling some one-on-one time to go through the history of marketing and learning and development working together. Or maybe just a run through of all the projects that they've worked on in the past to show how the team has worked together in the past, projects that they're working on now, and projects that they want to or are planning on working on towards in the future. That for that new employee to be able to see that whole scope of how that department interacts with other departments in the organization really helps us solidify, okay, this is what I can contribute, not just to my own department, but to the entire organization. Or to our customers, right? To our entire customer base. It makes it really powerful and it makes them feel empowered to do more and see things on the bigger scale, more global scale. And then lastly, every single employee is part of the onboarding process. So think about the times that you walked into the break room and no one stopped to even say hi to you. Does it make you want to be part of that organization? Does it make you more invested in that org? Every employee should be showcasing respect, kindness, and saying just hello when you see someone new. Asking them what their name is. What is your role here? I'm so excited to have you. Sharing more about what they do for the organization and how they maybe work together or they will work together in the future. And there are other best practices, tips, and tricks that other employees that are not part of your department can participate and share in. So wouldn't it be fun if other employees are utilizing that and saying, hey, here are some things to know about working at Anchor Training. Maybe even making a compilation of tips and tricks of different people sharing just how they feel about the culture, their favorite memory about working at this organization, their favorite part of the time of the year, their favorite activity that the organization does together. That would be really, really powerful to see from not just your team members' eyes and not just see it from your manager's perspective or from leadership's perspective, but from the actual people who are actually working there that they will see every single day. So the next time you're working on your onboarding training, aside from HR, I want you to make sure that you're integrating leadership, your managers, the entire team, other departments, as well as all employees. And if you're looking for ways to refresh your onboarding program and really integrate the entire organization and take a holistic approach to your onboarding program, make sure you contact Anchor Training. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in our next video. Bye.